So we can go ahead and begin. Hello, Rita. I think you're muted, Rita. Sorry, I muted you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So excited about these chapters, y'all. I have a little munchkin here. I'm sorry. And he's just going to be my companion, I guess. So, love this chapter, and I love the next chapter, too. So I'm excited to hear you talk about that, Hollywood. So for this, last week we talked about setting goals. We talked about planning dreams, making big plans. God bless it.
I can't hear you.
Okay. It wasn't unmuting. Okay. Did you hear anything?
No, it's okay.
Okay, that's okay. So last week we talked about setting goals and we talked about dreaming big. And so, the next logical step with that is taking action for those goals. Because if we don't take action steps, then we're not ever going to set those goals or reach those goals. So this chapter talked a lot about action and perseverance, which I absolutely love. He told a little story about these two men. Y'all, that's my son making that dinging noise. Troy, chill out for a second. About these two men who took their lunch and they unpacked it, and one of them said, "Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I've got a BLT." And the other guy said, "You know what, I've got a peanut butter and jelly sandwich again." And the guy looked at him, he said, "Just tell your wife to pack something different." He said, "Oh, I pack my own lunches." So he said that to make the little point that we're in charge of what we do, of our action steps. If we want things to be different, then we're going to have to be the ones to do that. And the second you join this team, the second you pay your $34.95, or right now your $19.99, you have your own business. You are responsible for your success. You are responsible for your failure. So you can't blame your upline. You can't blame your downline. You can't blame your husband, your kids, whatever. Everything that you do for your business is absolutely up to you. So now we're going to talk a little bit about some action steps. The good news is that you can change your situation by just having new thoughts, by taking new actions, and through hard work and perseverance. So if you're not happy with your situation, you can change your situation. That is the good news. He talked so much about success and how action is required for success. And so when we talk about setting goals and having dreams, if we don't take action, then we will never have success. Hard work is not fun. I don't know if you join this team thinking, I'm just going to post a few times and everybody's going to come running to me and I'm going to be a millionaire with this business. If you've been in it for a while, like Holly and I, you know that it's not like that. You work and it's hard work. But the reason that we continue to do it is because it's worth it. The future with this, the future of residual income is unbelievable. So just know that it's not going to be fun, but it's all about the effort. And it doesn't matter if you are great at this. It doesn't matter if you're the best network marketer in the world. What matters is the effort that you put forth. You can be the greatest, and if you're not trying and not working and not being consistent every day, then it's not going to matter. You are not going to make it if you're not taking the action steps. Hang on just a second, guys. All right. Michael got hurt today, and he is out of commission for helping me with Choi Boy. Okay, so The next thing is he talked about being disciplined. And he had this little quote: discipline is doing what you are supposed to do when you are supposed to do it. So it doesn't matter if you feel like doing it. When you are disciplined and taking those action steps consistently every day, you will be successful at this. It's not what we do like in the big picture. It's what we do every day that gets us to those goals. We can't have success without discipline, and we are looking for daily success. So our long-term success absolutely depends on what we do daily. It's our daily accomplishments. And what I mean by that is, like, how can you be successful in a day? Well, if I set my goal, and we talked about setting goals last week, to reach out to 5 new people every day, okay, did I reach out to those 5 people? Was I successful at that? If I only reached out to 3, then no, I was not. If I waited to the last second and then just kind of hurried through it and didn't really put forth the effort, then no, I was not successful at it. So it's those daily successes every day that we're working and being diligent and being disciplined in doing those things. It has to be a habit for you every day to be good at this. He also talked about working with the end in mind, and he gave the example, and I've used this analogy with my team before because I read this book when I first joined and I absolutely loved it, about the 3 bricklayers. And a guy comes along and he sees somebody laying bricks. He said, "Hey, what are you building?" He said, I'm laying bricks. And then he asked the next guy, "What are you doing?" He said, "Well, I'm making a beautiful wall." And so he asked the next guy, he said, "I'm building a cathedral." So if we're just laying bricks, it's not very exciting. If we're just trying to earn $50 and pay for our products, I mean, that may be your goal, but that's not going to be the long term what you can get from this. That's why we always tell you to dream big. If you know that you are working for freedom, if you know you are working to send your kids to college, then you're going to get excited about this. You are going to be disciplined with this. We don't do a lot for ourselves, but we say this all the time: you will move mountains for somebody that you love. So if they are your why, then you're going to make it happen for them. So just always, when you're working, when you're doing these little things every day, when you're doing your 5-3-1 every day, keep that big picture in mind. Almost everybody that's new, I always want them to make a dream board. Any type of little challenge, one of the first things we do is make a dream board. What do you want to accomplish with this? You should always be getting with your new team members, asking them what their goals are with this. They may not even see the potential with this company yet, and it's your goal, it is your job to show them that potential. So just make sure that you are working with the end in mind. He listed some things not to do. He talked about lowering the target versus increasing the activity. So say I've set a goal and I want to make $1,000 a month with this company. Well, say I'm working and I'm only really making $500. Okay. So what you do not want to do is say, you know what, $500 is good. I'm just going to change my goal to $500. That's what I want to do, and not change anything. So lowering your goal, lowering your expectations with the company is not the answer. If you want to make $1,000 and the work that you are putting in is not making it happen, you need to increase your activity. Activity builds momentum. Activity builds your team. Activity is what makes you grow. So if you're reaching out to 5 people a day and that's not really getting you very many leads, reach out to 10 people a day. Reach out to 15 people a day. Increasing your activity versus lowering your expectations and lowering your goals is key. And he talked about, we're always talking about becoming leaders. Successful people, that's what they do. If they're not meeting their goals, they make it happen by increasing their activity. He also talked about tracking your actions versus tracking your intentions. And I really love this because sometimes I do that. I wake up and I have these great intentions for the day. I'm going to contact 20 people today. That's what I'm going to do. Now, that's great that I have that intention, but if I don't actually do that work, I can't count that. IPAs are the only thing that matter with this company. If you're not doing income producing activities every day, you're not going to produce income. It's that simple. It's not IPIs, income producing intentions. It's activities. You have to be active with this. So he had this quote in here that I love. Procrastination is the biggest stealer of dreams. And that is so true. If you wait till the very end of the day, right before you go to bed, when you're the most tired, when you have had a long day, you're just going to think, you know what, I've reached out to 3 people, that's enough. I'm just ready for bed. And you're going to put it off. But if you get up early and you take that time and you devote that time and you set a timer and you go for it in the morning and don't put it off, you're going to be way more successful. And that's something we've talked about a lot in our Summer 60 group, is to get up in the morning and do it. No one is going to send you a check unless you work for it. I love that. Unless you put in the effort, you are not going to get paid. You are not entitled to money just because you are working this business, and that does not mean scrolling Facebook. Y'all, mommies with sons, are they not the most destructive? Like, he's tearing up this room right now, and he's 14 months old. It's insane. Successful people do what it takes every day, not just when they feel like it. Are there times when I don't feel like doing this? Yes, there are a lot of times when I don't feel like doing this. Now, the second this becomes a job and not something that you are truly striving to reach your dreams for, you're going to get tired of doing it. So just make sure that, you know, you are reaching your dreams with this. You're not just, you know, putting in the time every day. You know, you're changing lives with this. What we have, people are praying for this. People are praying for this freedom. People are praying for these products, for this health. So you are going to be the answer to someone's prayers. And I just hope that you realize that and let God use you like that. Perseverance, he talked about a lot, and he says that perseverance is refusing to give in. It is the critical factor for your success. You have to persevere through any obstacle that you're going to face. And I want you to know right now, you are going to face obstacles. This is a roller coaster. Holly and I, because we talk a lot, have been on one. We have been on one here lately, and it's ups and downs and all arounds. But you know what? We know that it is worth it. We know that we are changing lives. We know that we will not give up and we will not give in, and we will persevere until we are diamond, and then we're going to still keep going to be diamonds twice. That's what we're going to do. So just know those days are coming when people quit your team. You know, if you have 5 people on your team, the likelihood of everyone working the business is a very, very slim. You may get 1 person to work it out of 5. I would say that's pretty good odds. I would say 1 out of 10 people want to work the business. Thank you, Troy. But just know that there are absolutely always obstacles. I've got a lot of new people that literally have 5 people on their team, and they're like, Rita, I can't get them motivated. I can't get them to work the business. And so what I say is keep going, keep reaching out to people who do. And then, you know, it's just a numbers game. The more people you reach out to, you're going to find those people. And, you know, Julia told me this statistic not too long ago, that if you have 10 people to join your team, no matter what, 2 people are going to work the business. 2 people are going to quit, no matter how good of a leader you are or how terrible of a leader you are. 2 will work it, 2 will quit. She said the other 6, you have the ability to influence. So when you are working with those people, pouring into those people, and you know, sending them positive messages, helping them through whatever, they will either work it or leave it, depending on how you work with them, how much you pour into them, and how much that you train them. So again, this success is on you. It is up to you to get those 6 people and get them going. He said this too. I've heard this in other avenues of life. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always gotten. So if you're not happy with where you are in life, in this business, you have to make a change. You have to work harder. You have to strive for more. You have to dream bigger. You have to put in more time. You have to put in more effort and more activity. This is an activity that he wanted us to do, and I love it. So I want you to write down on a piece of paper, and this is your homework, what I want. Okay? That is your goal, and write it out. What I want to be a diamond in this company. Okay? Next, we're going to write the price I will gladly pay. So what are you going to give up to reach what you want for that goal? Are you going to wake up earlier? Are you going to give up that 30 minutes of sleep in the morning where you've been sleeping in? Are you going to give up your lunchtime workouts? That's what I'm doing. Are you going to start reading or devote 30 minutes a day to reading self-development? Are you going to, drop some TV show or whatever it is that's wasting your time when you can be reaching your dreams with this? So write out what I want, what your goal is, and what I will gladly give up. And then commit to it. No matter what it takes, do it every day. Do it. And I promise you, you will succeed at this. As long as you do not quit, do not give in, do not give up, you will make it. And that's just the biggest hope. And I love this guy. He's a coach. He started doing network marketing later in life, and he decided just to go for it. And I love it because he's not your typical network marketer, in my opinion. I have no idea what company he works for. But this is so applicable to Plexus. So I just want to encourage you, you have to be active. You have to do those activities every day. The steps are so easy. They're very, very simple. You just have to do a little bit every day. All right, Holly, I'm going to mute myself before my son starts screaming. I'll let you take over.
Okay. Hey, guys.
Oh, wait, can I say one more thing, Holly, that I forgot? I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they have extended the sale till Friday. So that is super exciting. That gives us an entire one more day to get people. This is the activity I'm talking about, to take action. This incentive is crazy. Our teams are blowing up right now. If your team is not blowing up, I promise it's because you're not being active. Your team's not being active. You're not pushing them. So wherever you are, stop it and get to work, because it is worth it.
Rita's so right. And guys, I am so proud of the people on this call, because you know what? You're making a sacrifice. Right now, you're making a time sacrifice away from your family, away from your kids, away from a TV show. Somewhere you made a sacrifice. And you know what that tells me is that you have a desire somewhere in your heart that you want this business to work for you. But I'm going to talk about some things that people really don't want to talk about, and I'm probably going to step on some toes with this next chapter. But you know what? I needed to hear it. So if I needed to hear it, I'm betting that some of you need to hear it too. I need the truth. When I do stuff, I need the truth to know what is going on, what I need to be doing, why my business is not growing as fast as it should. I want to know those things. And so when I want to know those things, I need somebody to help me and to tell me what is going on here. So when I go into this, I'm going to just be, straightforward and honest. Chapter 8, it starts now. If we don't start, it is certain that we can't arrive. And that is true. The scariest moment is always just before you start. Do y'all find that? That's the scariest moment, right? Just before you start. And whenever I started to post, it was scary for me because I thought, oh gosh, I don't know about this. I don't know if I can really do this. What are people going to think about me? They're going to think I post too much, or they're going to think this or that. Guys, you got to get out of the thing of what people think. They're not paying your bills. They're not trying the product. They don't have 22 immediate family members that have a life-changing health issue or off some medication like my family does. If you don't have that yet, you dive in and you find somebody that does, and you learn and you watch and you see. So the ideas in this book, personal diligence and determination, those are the things that you need to succeed, and you can succeed with that. Number one jumps off, get in the game. Get in the game. Don't make time. If you don't make time to not be plugged in, then you can't expect anything to change in your life. You've got to get plugged into your team and to the business. We've got to get involved in the business trainings and meetings. We've just got to. If you want to be big in this company, you're going to have to take some sacrifices like Rita talked about. You've got to show up to go up. And that's some of the things that he was talking about. And showing up is not an option if you want massive success. It's not an option. A lot of people on my team, they make a lot of excuses. And some excuses are pretty good. And some, they're time excuses. They really are. And I know because I made them. I did that last summer. And you know what? All summer I stayed still and I went backward in points last summer. So it did not benefit me not to push forward. It hurt me. if you don't push forward, if you don't go after it, if you don't put your time in that needs to be done for the business, a little bit a day, then you're going to not go as fast as you want. And that's just the honest truth. Number 2 was talking about follow your company system. We have a successful system, guys. Don't reinvent the wheel here. Copy what the successful people do. Everyone over Rita and I are Sapphire, and all the rest are Diamond. Everybody over us. They know what to do. It's been passed down to them. They're showing us. You don't have to reinvent. You just do what they're doing. Number 3, be prepared for a marathon. Guys, this is not a sprint. If you think you're just going to jump in, make some good money, and get out fast, that is not how this works. This is a true marathon. And if you're going to have to do some long-term commitment if you want the big results. And when we're talking about big, guys, we're talking about life-changing health and finances here. We're talking about, I'm able to quit 2 jobs and stay home with my son this year. That is huge for me. That is a lifelong prayer of 9 years of me praying that prayer, and God answered that through Plexus. And this is big-time financial change, guys. The biggest hurdle he was talking about is for your success is lack of commitment. And I thought, man, that is the truth, lack of commitment. How many people on your team do you have that, I can't do that, I can't get on this call right now, I got to do this, got to do that. You make excuses. Let me tell you what, you make time to go to things that are important to you too. Like you make time to go to church. You make time to get on calls. You make time to go to work. You make time to eat with your grandmother. You do what's important to you. And we all know deep down that we do. We have got to stay committed through the good and the bad. I mean, every week you're not going to gain a new customer. Every week you're not going to gain a new ambassador. And that's just how it is. But you know what? When you go through and you're really diligent about what you're doing daily and weekly with this business, you're going to get your head on straight and you're going to keep going. And that's the beauty of it. Number 4, take massive and immediate action. The most successful people take what they learn and put it into action. And that is the truth. I mean, that is the honest truth. You know what? When we say, we have a lot of people, and the world is full of people that plan to get started, but they never do. Have you been there? Have you been there? You're like, I'm going to do that next week or tomorrow. That becomes a never. Don't be a never. Get in. Take what you learn. Get in with it. Take action. Do the work. The people above us, we're showing you what to do. They're showing us. Just do the work. It's not a hard work or job to do. It's just repetitive. A lot of people have lots of good dreams that never come true because they'll say, I'll start someday, or I'll start next week, or I'll start tomorrow. And it's a lot easier for you to build your team if you just learn what you do, get excited about it, and start now. And I think that is part of the commitment that he was talking about. We all pretty much do the same thing every day, right? We sleep, we eat, we think, play, feel, talk, listen. We all have 24 hours in a day. There's 8,760 hours in a year. The difference between winners and losers, they have both the same basic things in their lives. The things that winners do, though, they take it to the top. And the things that the losers do go to the bottom. So what are you doing with your time? Manage your time well. Winners, they understand commitment. The people that are real successful in business, in any business, network marketing, Plexus, whatever it is, they are committed and they understand that it is a commitment and it's going to take more than just a little while. And they understand that you will have to take necessary steps to reach your dreams. There are necessary things that you have to do to be successful in this business, right? It's a huge truth. I mean, there's no secret. If you don't change the way you're thinking and make a commitment, then there's no book is going to help you. No how-tos will help you. No matter how many network marketing books you read, those things are not going to help you because you've got to change yourself and make the commitment. The reason that the books and courses don't work for most people is not the actions that are wrong in the books. it's the people don't keep doing them. They don't stay the course. So if you want to change your life through network marketing, pretty much he's saying you must make a commitment. And are you ready to make a commitment for this? You've got to keep telling yourself, all these meetings, all these, web things, or all these Zooms that you get on and get off, all these appointments, the presentations, the group meetings, the team meetings. And don't get me wrong, I understand that you can't make every single thing. We have a life, we have jobs, we have families. But if you're making excuses for not getting on things and are just getting on one thing a month, they're not coming to, you're making excuses. You need to get in as many of these as you can. If you're truly all in, if you've drawn your line in the sand and you said, I am going after this, no matter what it takes, because I'm here to tell you, even with the lady at convention that got on stage, she had been doing it for 4.5 years, and it took her that long to get to Emerald. But do you think she was sad or complaining up there? Because you know what? Yes, she had her free car now. Yes, she's going to Kona. And yes, she makes about $10K a month. Yeah. So no, she's not complaining. Was it worth 4.5 years to her? Absolutely. It definitely was worth 4.5 years to her. You know what? Going to diamond's worth 10 years to me. I'll work for 10 years to get it to a diamond level and being able to change my family like it already has. And then I can't imagine or fathom a diamond level pay. So just get your head right and make sure you realize, everything you're doing, it's worth it. What price can you put on financial freedom? If you're like me, I don't have financial freedom, not every single thing debt paid off. I don't have that. I can't imagine having that. I can't imagine what that would do for my family, what it could do for other family members, what it could do for missions and people in my church or people that need stuff. I can't imagine what that kind of will do. Because I'm telling you, this is a lot bigger than all of us, guys. This is a God thing. And if you don't realize it, then start to pay attention. Because, he's brought it into our life for a reason, and he's blessed us all with different things financially. And he will definitely bless you if he knows that you're going to do what's right with what he's blessing you with, and he can trust you with this stuff. Because it's so much more than just us or individuals or our family. This is a bigger thing. Plexus is bigger, and God is using it for great things. It talked about his turning point in the book, in the business, but not really in the business. I was playing with the idea, and I knew it was a good idea. I knew I needed it, but not total commitment. And are you there? That's what I really want to ask you. Do you have total commitment? He would say, he wouldn't attend different things. He wanted to attend the convention thing, and he waited too late and couldn't get in. Then he wound up being able to get in, and all the people, the top performers, got to come on stage, and they recognized him and everything. And he looked and he was like, I decided that I was meant to be on that stage, making money and changing lives. And when he went, he thought, never again. I'm not sitting out here in the crowd. I'm going to be up on that stage. And the first year I went to convention, I was in the crowd, and I said, I'm not doing this again. I'm going to be on that stage. And guys, I barely made it on that stage, but I made it. And that's a year's worth of work, of commitment, of daily activity, reaching out to people, loving people, helping people, doing above and beyond. And guys, I did it with 2 jobs. I was adopting a child. At one point, I had another foster child that was absolutely precious. But the thing is, I was busy, but I made time for what's important to me. And look what the benefits have come. So don't give up. It's possible. You can do it. He talked about, I don't know where you'll be when your turning point hits. But I do know when you make a commitment that everything is going to change for you. And it will. When you truly commit to this, everything's going to change to you. And I don't want anybody to answer out loud, but how many people did you message this week about the business, about the special, privately, individual, not just Facebook message, like you pick up the phone and called or send a voice message or text or talk to people in public? Be real with yourself. Did you give it 110%? Can you lay your head down tonight and be like, I gave it all I had with this special this week. This is what I did, and I am pleased. No matter how many people I got or didn't get, I knew I did all I could do. Did you pour into your team? Did you personally ask your team what they were sending? Who they were helping, what they were able to do for people? Were you able to do that? Did you give it your all to help the people to do that too? If not, look at yourself and make sure you're really all in, or if you're just saying you're all in but not really doing all the work. Because, I needed to hear that at a point in my business, and you may be all in and you may be rocking, and that is awesome, but you may be one of the ones that's like, you know what, no, I need to step it up. I can do better. So what do we do? If we draw a line, we're all in, what do we do? 1, you get with your upline. 2, make sure your website's ready to go. You set everything up, especially if you're new, you need to renew, whatever. 3, become your own first customer. Make sure you're using these products, guys, and sharing that on Facebook and showing people. 4, get one outside customer at least and bring them in, or a wholesale person. Go find somebody. Message people, call people, text people till you find somebody to join you. Hey, you know somebody, your ride or die friends, or somebody that will do this business with you, will join you. What if this works for me? That's what I said to my friends, and it did. And they're on this call right now. Number 5, know your why. We say this all the time, but you've got to know your why. And you're going to have to make it a deep down why and write it down. And I want you to turn around and I want you to share this with your upline and let them know your why you're doing this, so they can hold you accountable. You need to learn by doing. Proclaim yourself to your upline why you're doing it. Set up a phone call with them. Get a plan. And it talked about in the book, post this. Today, I became a fully committed person. Hashtag Coach Presley. And so when people ask you, invite them and tell them what you're fully committed to. So I'll say it again. Post this on Facebook, Instagram, whatever. Today, I became a fully committed person, period. Then a hashtag Coach Presley, Presley. And when people ask you what you're talking about, you message them and tell them what you're talking about. You're committed. You're committed to Plexus. You're committed to helping people change lives. You're committed to changing your life. And you tell them. People are more likely to join you when you're vulnerable. When you tell what personally has happened to you or is doing for you and why you're doing it, they are more likely to join your team. So if you haven't been all in and you just thought you were all in, see if you really are. And let's go all in together, guys, because I'm telling you, it is worth it. It is worth it. And I'm proud of you guys. It was good to share with you tonight. I love Chapter 8. Rita, do you have anything else that you want to share?
I do want to say, Holly, I love both of these chapters. I'm telling you, this book is phenomenal. So when we talk about going all in, for you, for someone out there, like, what does that look like?
For me, going all in means that I get up every day. I get up every day and I do my business. But you know what? I've got to pay myself first. So I work Holly's level 1 business. I message my people first, because they always say message 5, follow up with 3, then train yourself or one more person on your team. I always do more than that, because I'm telling you guys, when I first joined, I would have never gone fast gold and Rita too if we'd messaged 5 people a day. We're just on this call, we're being real. During this special, I probably have messaged about 300 people, but guess how many people have joined my team this week? 8. Level 8. Yes. So you get out of it what you put into it. One person sent me a message. Well, I messaged 5 people. I'm like, well, that's good, but you can't with anybody. You got to message more people. And I hate to be discouraging about that, but think about it. Did you join the first time somebody messaged you? No. All these people that joined me, I've been following up with for months. It's not been I just contacted them this week. I have been following up and keeping them in my calendar for months. And so you've got to continue, because what you're doing right now, the hard work that you're doing right now, say you message 50 people tomorrow, you might get one person interested or talking to you, or 5, or somebody might join your business. But it's a numbers game. The more people you talk to, the more action you'll get, the more join your team. And you've just got to go after them. Most people don't join it. It took me 8 times in 3 or 4 months to join. So it's daily activity. Then I check in with my team. I find some posts that I want to post during the day. I post on my team page. I post on my personal page. And I put my phone down and spend time with my friends and my kids, of course, and my husband. But then I'll look and see if I need to message anybody back. And then I've been making time for lunch dates or dinner dates, guys. I've been planning team events every week this summer. I've really stepped it up because when I quit stepping it up, we started slowing down. So I got back on it because I had to look back and see what was working. And what was working was daily individually messaging my people, not only in groups, small groups, but individually messaging my people and seeing how I could help them and what they were doing. And it's hard to try to motivate people. At the same time, you don't want to give up on them. You know, it's hard to drag people along, but you can't do the work for them. You just got to encourage them to do it, you know, and a lot of people are really discouraged. And I do get a lot of my team, oh, I have an amazing team, guys. You don't even know. God has just sent me the perfect people for my team. And they love me and they pray for me. And I'm so thankful for them and I pray for them. And some are so defeated and discouraged right now because they're not adding people to their team like they want to. And you know what? As long as they continue to work and put in that work, God has a plan and He will send people to you and to your team. But you've got to be willing to be the one to reach out and go after the people. You know, you can't, if you post on Facebook and think they're going to come to you, they're not. They're not, guys. They're not going to join your team unless you ask them. If you get one or two that way, then you're lucky. But they're really not going to join you if you just sit back and let them. I'm in the morning and at night. I answer messages at night. And I stay up past the time when my family goes to bed.
Yeah, I get up before my family. I work at my lunch break. I work in between patients. I'll stay up later than my family because it's worth it for me. It is worth it for me to do this in every nook and cranny in my life. I'm still working full time. I still have 3 kids, and I'm making it work. I'm making it happen. And, you know, talking about even if you're doing the activity and you're not seeing the results, it will happen. It will happen. It may not be right at the time that you think it's going to, but if you stay active and keep doing those things and even crank it up a notch, you know, if that's not working for you, reach out to more people. You have to remember, just like Holly said, God has a plan and a time for all of this. Now, you are required to do the work. You are required to be consistent. You are required to put Him first in everything that you do, including this business. But it may not be about you. It may not be the time for them. If I had joined the first time I had been messaged, I would have quit because after my son was born, he was sick. I would have given up because I was in the hospital for a month. I never would have done this business. God knew I needed to wait. And he used so many different things to line that up for me. So if you've got this person that you've been talking to, don't give up on them. You know, I've got people joining my team this month that I've been talking to for a year. So just keep going, keep reaching out. And I will say, don't get stuck on the same people. Just because someone says that they want to do it, it's just not the right time, that does not mean put all your eggs in that basket. That means they're on my list, but I'm going to continue to reach out to new people. Don't go back to them all the time and just kind of be banking on those people to join that month. You are constantly needing to reach out. And if I can't say that a million times, that's it.
That is the truth. And I see some of you guys that got on later. I'm going to, I did record this and I'm going to post it to our Summer 60 page. If you're not on there, let me know and I'll send it to you. But I think this is some really good points that I really wish that I had as far as truth, working the business, commitment, because I really do feel like, and probably a lot of you feel like too, because you guys, you know, you're on here, you committed to this time, but a lot of our people, they're not committed. And that's the truth of the matter. When I was reading that chapter, I was like, these people say they want the business, but they're not doing the work to get it. If you're not doing the work to make the business work for you, then it's not going to happen. And there's no way to sugarcoat that or say that. And I would never be ugly to anybody about that. But it's the truth, you know, and the truth, we need to hear it. So I'm glad he addressed that in that chapter.
And that's why when your team comes to you and they say, I'm doing this, and my team's not growing, say, how many people have you messaged today? Let me look at your messages. And you know what? They don't reply because they're not doing it. I promise you, if you're not growing, it's because you're not doing IPA. I promise. Because that's why I'm not growing.
Well, I got to a point that I was training my team so much that I quit growing Holly's level 1. I put so much into them, and so then I stopped adding, and my team stopped growing. And literally, we stopped growing as far as me not continuing to expand wide. You know, and that's where it hurt me. So now I get up, spend a little time with the Lord, get on my IPA for me, then I get on my team, because that's what's been most beneficial. You've got to pay yourself first. You've got to reach out to new people, different people. Keep that list going. If you don't have anybody else to message, then you're crazy, because you're supposed to be adding that list every day. I mean, are you just, you know, at home not doing anything? Get in different Facebook messages groups, you know, for stay-at-home moms or whatever. When you go to dance, my gosh, I went and dropped off Lexi one day at dance, and I come back and have 2 people that were going to sign up, and I ain't been in there 10 minutes, and I had messaged 30 people, you know, that day, and I didn't get a response. So make sure that you're doing different things. This is not Facebook marketing to you guys. This is so marketing. If you're sending messages only, you're going to have a long road ahead. You've got to branch out of that. Because I'm just saying, you gotta get on the phone.
Yeah, and I would say face-to-face, hearing your voice, using Instagram. If you're on my team, I've just posted a great thing that Rachel Rogers did on how to use Instagram efficiently to increase your network. Is excellent. It's things that I had no idea about. So I loved it, and I'm going to start implementing those things too. But anyway, I'm super excited about this extra day. Guys, get to action. Get your teams to action, and you will grow. Bottom line, you will grow.
Yeah. And if you see some people that aren't on this call, when I post it, just tag them in it. You know, if you see something on the team pages and you want your people to see it, share it with them. Tag them in it, or whatever you need to do. Copy paste it, send it to them. You know, you're gonna have to love on your people, because I mean, it's what it's gonna take. You have to nurture those 6 in the middle. That's what's going to determine your business. So put the work in, put the effort in. You can do it. The only way you're going to fail, though, is if you quit, and that's the honest to God truth out there.
Yep.
Thanks, Rita. Bye, guys.
Thanks, Holly.